Hiya, kids! Come on down to Mord's Funhouse. We have all the fun things. Body shaming mirrors, child abduction, and also Serena Williams. So come on down and bring your family.
Oh, I will. That bitch still owes me $20.
Serena?
Yeah.
Girl, you gonna have your whole family beat up Serena Williams?
No, they just get to watch. Her family gets to watch, so mine does too.
Oh,
and welcome to episode 53 of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, DJ, here with my co-host,
Paul, as usual.
Or as you tend to be known anymore, Chuckles the Clown.
Chuckles the Clown, very that. And if you're watching this on video, you can tell there's something very special going on.
It is the first episode of Halloween season.
Yes, and that means costumes all month long for you guys. And today, I'm serving fashion. I'm serving the realness. I'm giving you everything you could ever need in your life. Oh, I'm so pretty.
If you're not watching this, Paul literally looks like a clown.
Yes, I'm a very, very, very blue clown. And this blue is going to be all over my home. Oh, and we also have a new backdrop.
We do have a new backdrop. Can you see it all the way? Yeah, you can see the moon.
Yes, period. It's a beautiful black backdrop.
We might move it down a little bit.
Yes, but all month long we're going to be in costume.
Yes.
So that is awesome. Very exciting. You're a Phantom of the Opera today, and I'm Blue Clown.
Yes, I'm a deformed musical genius dressed up as the Phantom of the Opera.
Exactly.
Did you get my joke?
I was literally going to make that joke, but then you finished it.
Thank you. I'm sweating my balls off, wearing a full suit and a cape and this mask, but it's hiding at least half of my hideousness.
Half.
I mean, I could go like this and cover the other half.
Right. But before we get into more funny things, we have to get a little serious now.
Yes, right now when we're recording this, the South is being torn apart, literally, by Hurricane Helene.
Yes.
Much destruction is taking place and many people are being displaced by it. Our heart goes out to everyone who is affected by this horrible act of God, this hurricane. And in the description below, we're going to have links to aid organizations that are going to go towards helping those affected and rebuilding.
Yes.
Probably the Red Cross, FEMA, places like that. So please go down and donate if you are so inclined. And if you would also like to give to the Poor Blue Clown Society to help whatever this is.
Help fix all of this.
Paul needs drastic, radical reconstruction surgery.
Oh my god, bitch. Oh my god. But for real, please consider donating. What's going on down there is crazy and awful to see. So, link will be down below. But why don't we switch it up this week? Why don't we start with your week first?
So I went and I visited a friend in Cleveland last night, all right?
Yes.
And so I drove back to be here for this recording.
Yes.
And I was 15 minutes from my home.
Yeah.
So only about maybe 40 minutes from here. Mm-hmm. And I got caught up in a Trump rally.
They have those? Well, obviously they have those
So
here.
what it was like 6 Trump supporters.
Yes.
On the side of the road. With a bunch of signs and flags. Mm-hmm. And this bitch in front of me, and it was a man bitch. Mm-hmm. This was like honking his horn, and I could see him going like, yeah. And then, so it's a 4-lane highway. Mm-hmm. So 2 going one way, 2 going the other way. This bitch pulls his car. I'm behind him in the far lane. He pulls so he's blocking all traffic. Gets out of his car, is hanging, honking his horn and dancing around. Trump 2024! Trump 2024! I called the police on his ass.
You literally called the cops?
I called the police and I sat there and I watched him get arrested.
Bitch, did you actually do that?
Yeah, he was blocking traffic and I was having none of it. I respect your freedom of speech. I respect your right to demonstrate or to protest or whatever you're doing, but I draw the line at infringing traffic or looting.
Okay, period.
Or violence.
Period.
And you know what? It was violent. It was violent. He was blocking me from getting home. I had to pee.
Wait, when was this?
Today!
Today,
coming home.
Oh my god. That's insane, bitch. I can't believe you called the cops.
I did. I called the cops.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
And in case he left, I gave them his license plate number.
Mm-hmm.
He was blocking traffic.
He was blocking traffic. You got a good point there. And that is a crime, I think. So,
I think it is.
There you go.
How about you? What's going on with you?
So I had a very spiritual experience last week, okay?
Okay.
And it kind of did inspire what's going on today. It was a very... Really, I went and I saw God. I went to the Sweat Tour, and I saw Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan, and it was life-changing. The perfect way to end Brett Summer. If you get the chance to go see Sweat Tour... Oh my god, it is so good. It is so fun. It was like literally just 3 hours of me nonstop dancing. I thought I was gonna pass out at some point because, you know, if you're going to Sweat Tour, you gotta have a good old drink beforehand, right? So I was a little tipsy, so I probably shouldn't be jumping around that much. But, you know, it was worth it. When Charlie and Troy say jump, you jump. And one thing about Troye Sivan also is he has a really good voice in person. So if you ever get to see the chance to see him live in person, go do it. Voice, 10 out of 10. Looks, 10 out of 10. Stunt shows and shenanigans, 10 out of 10. Go see the Sweat Tour. Go see. They did that for us. They went hard and it was amazing. But what did not go hard was the movie I saw this week, okay?
Oh, yeah?
So I went to go see The Substance,
yes.
right?
Is that the one with Demi Moore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that movie... It was so disturbing. Like, I left that movie, like, I didn't even know what to do. I had to sit in my car and process before I even drove home. And I hadn't felt that way since Saltburn. And this time it was in a very negative way. I mean, the movie was very well shot, everything, but it is one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life. Now, there are some really funny camp moments, which I appreciate, but there is a lot of it that, when they say body horror... They ain't joking. I was scared. I was spooked. I was disgusted.
Ew.
Usually, I was all the emotions that someone feels when they hook up with me, basically. Scared, shocked.
All the emotions I had when I walked into the house and you were sitting on your couch in your underwear and your blue makeup.
Like this. Could you imagine?
It was terrifying.
Oh, me and my
Especially
underwear.
because I looked right through to your bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw the light on, I just assumed you were still getting made up. And then I turn around to lock the door. And Paul goes, hello.
I had to make the entrance.
You made the entrance.
Yes.
I could have crawled through the pair of sewers, through your mirror. Haven't you ever seen Phantom of the Opera?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it now. Okay, period. Yes.
And it would have been less of an entrance than when I walked into finding a one-man Blue Man group sitting on your couch.
Not Blue Man Group. I did like Phantom. It was a good musical. I do have a soft spot for Phantom.
I love Phantom. And, you know, I've seen it like 6 times live.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you see it, all you see is the Phantom's mask the whole time because it's such a bright white.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like looking at the camera and I'm like, where's the rest of my face? Because all I can see is this.
Right.
I keep like moving my head like this to make sure like this is still here.
Oh my gosh. Now, as you all know, there's no more Hot Guy of the Month. It's replaced with Pop Culture Corner, and I do have a couple topics, so it's going to be Pop Culture Corner speed round today, guys. Buckle in, buckle down. Okay, first things first. Nikado Avocado, if you remember, we talked about him a few episodes ago. He might still be fat. We don't know what's going on.
Regardless, I canceled him. I'm tired. I don't care if you're fat or skinny. I'm over it.
Yeah, it was spooky.
It's too much. It's too publicity grabby. Over. Canceled. Chandelier. Dropped.
Exactly. Sabrina Carpenter started the Short and Sweet tour. Exciting. Would love to see it. Probably aren't going to see it, but would love to see it. Love Sabrina Carpenter.
10 out of 10 would kidnap to my sewer lair.
Me too, honestly. That bitch is so pretty. Next thing's next. Lana Del Rey married that alligator hunter. Crazy. She married an alligator hunter from Louisiana. Yeah. Those songs are gonna be crazy, bitch. She's releasing that country album, girl. I'm so excited to see what goes down on that country album.
You know what? 10 out of 10 would kidnap to my underground lair for that too. Both of them.
Exactly. And I think you have something for Pop Culture Corner as well.
I do.
Something about it. Old release that got released.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's official. It is official. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart has been dead for 300 years.
Yes.
Released new music faster than Rihanna.
That is crazy, bitch. That's crazy. I'll have to listen to this new drop from Mozart.
It's if you like
everything what they're
if you like classical music, it's actually pretty good. It's very Mozart. Mm-hmm. Because my first thing was, what if it's like not like a forgery, but like what if somebody just wrote Mozart on it? Mm-hmm. But like I listened to it and I was like, nope, that's Mozart because it's fucking crazy like he was.
Oh my gosh, most of those people were crazy and gay, like us. Full circle
I don't
moments.
know. Bach was a priest.
They're gay priests.
I know, but I mean, you just don't hear about him being gay because you were too busy hearing about him being a priest.
You know what?
I think Mozart had syph. Mm-hmm. I think he had syphilis.
Oh, he had the syph.
Yeah, because he was crazy. He fucked everyone.
Hey, why not, you know? What else are you doing back in the day, honestly? Why
Other than writing a prolific amount of music. Did you know he composed Twinkle Twinkle Little Star when he was 3 years old?
That's crazy.
He was like literally a musical genius.
He was a prodigy.
A genius, but crazy.
Just like us. Genius, but crazy.
Well,
actually...
we're crazy, but genius.
I'm a little more sane, honestly. I mean, as you can tell, I've got all my marbles together. They're all in all the crowns are in the box. Everything's in the shed.
I really hope the camera's picking up on the fact that your hat is just slowly flopping over to one side.
I know, it's just gonna happen. It is what it is when you have such thick, luscious hair like mine. Oh, okay, that's all I have for Pop Culture Corner.
Before we get into the wine, should I tell them what happened with my makeup while I was getting ready?
Yes, that's a good story. Let them know, bitch.
So, I am in the bathroom doing my makeup. Mm-hmm. And I took black eyeshadow.
Yes.
And I am going around the eye so that when the mask goes on, all you can see is like blackness, like there is no eye. Mm-hmm. And Paul walks in, he sees, and he goes, "Are you sure that's the right eye?" And I go, "Yeah, totally." And I was like, I probably should have checked though first. And he brings my mask into me. And I hold it up to my face like this, and I realize it's my left eye that I blackened out. It covers the right eye.
The wrong eye. He had to take that shit off.
And the other problem was I did the right side of my face totally different. I did contour, I did highlighter. This side I just covered with foundation because the mask was going to be on, so I had to redo half of my face totally.
I know, that's rough. But now you look beautiful, so it is what it is. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices.
Do I?
Oh, jeez. I didn't need a jump scare. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I know it's Halloween.
The inside of my mask.
Oh my god, you can see the makeup on the inside of his mask. That's
my
insane.
skin's literally coming off.
Me too, honestly. Once I try to take all this blue off, it's literally, I'm just going to peel away all of my skin. But we did get a little technology advancement for the wine portion. We have an automatic wine opener. Period. Get into the wine opener ASMR.
I do ASMR.
So, this week's wine pairing is the Petite, a Michael David joint. And there's 2 elephants and a circus on the front. As you can tell, there's a theme to this episode. Lots of circus stuff.
Your love life?
Yeah, my love life is a fucking circus. It's crazy in the worst way. Now, I'm going to try and find... So this is a 2021 red wine, another Lodi appellation. Okay.
Oh.
Lodi. Okay. It's a red wine. It's chilled. Now let's get DJ to give this wine a little open. This is our first time ever trying the automatic wine opener, so we're going to see how this works. Oh, shit. Okay. Who is she? Wait.
What the fuck?
I think you have to go all the way down until it stops, maybe? There we go, and now it's coming up. Oh, Oh, that's easy. That's iconic. Oh, and the cork's gonna come back out, guys. Oh my god.
Okay.
That's so iconic. That's so easy. I love that. Now, since I have my gloves on, well, they're not gloves. This is my skin. Since I have blue skin today, DJ's gonna give us the good old pour, all right? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and I need to grab my straw. I gotta sip this with the straw so I don't fuck up my makeup. Alrighty.
Now that smells like the music of the night.
It smells like home and I'm ready to go. Oh. I mean, first thoughts, first takes.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Oh, I think it's... no, when I said, like, pretty good, I think it is pretty good.
I'm gonna give it 4 grapes. It was a good wine and I like the bottle. It's giving circus.
I'm gonna give it 4.5.
4.5? Okay,
Yeah.
period.
I apologize. I did have to take the mask off. I can't drink with it.
Oh, that's too...
I'd have to throw my entire head back.
That's why I had to get the straw.
Wait.
Wait, what do you need a straw for?
Because I can't drink with the mask on.
Oh, so, okay.
Testicular difficulties.
Well, DJ's playing with his testicles. So, anyway. I don't even know, girls. I tried to fill up space, but I blanked out. But speaking of which, Blank Space by Taylor Swift. Good song. Good song. We're gonna get there. And now he's got the mask back on. I'll put it back on. I'm feeling crazy.
Wine in a straw's crazy.
Alright, DJ.
Yes.
Let me tell you a story.
I'm ready.
When I crack that whip, everybody's gonna trip. Just like a circus. Because this used to be a fun house, but now it's filled with evil clowns. Is it truly time to start the countdown? Circuses invoke many positive feelings. Joy, awe, wonder. But for some people, a circus can conjure up other feelings.
Yes.
Darker feelings. Even frightening ones.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to the circus's most well-known performer.
The fat lady?
Only when I'm in town. The clown. Either you love them or you hate them. Clowns have always been a fixture of the circus, and if you're one of the many people who the sight of a clown strikes fear into your heart, today's episode is not for you. Because today, we are discussing the haunted Clown Motel in Totapa, Nevada.
I thought it was in Texas.
Nope, it's in Nevada. It's in Totapa, Nevada. And one thing, a fun fact about this episode, my favorite Mexican restaurant in Pittsburgh is called Totopo. So I will inevitably accidentally say Totopo instead of Totapa throughout this episode, and I apologize in advance. It's just, I've always got Mexican on the brain, okay? I love Mexican food. I love Mexican men. It's always on the brain, okay?
What about Mexican women?
Yeah, I love them too. I love everyone. We're equal opportunity, okay?
So tell me about this Clown Motel.
So, like I said before, the Clown Motel is located in the Nevada desert in a small town called Tonopah, and with about 2,500 residents today. It is impossible to miss the lit-up clown sign on Main Street, almost beckoning people to come to the motel. And it seems so tempting, the flashing lights.
Or warding them off.
I don't know. It seems to attract people. And they have it right on Main Street, so they're not trying to hide it or anything. It's a big flashing sign.
But I mean, I won't even eat Wonder Bread because of the clown on the front.
Oh, are you really that scared of clowns?
No, I just wanted to make that joke.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Do they actually have a clown on the front of Wonder Bread?
Yeah.
Oh. Crazy.
I think it's Wonder Bread.
Probably. That makes sense. Now, there's one thing about the motel is it's right next to the graveyard, right? And that's going to become a running theme later.
Ooh.
Now, the graveyard is kind of easy to miss. And, you might want to stay at the hotel even though there's a graveyard there because there's plenty of graveyards everywhere, right? But this one's special. But to get to why this graveyard is special, we're going to have to start from the very beginning.
In the beginning, God created man.
And then he did this.
The Smurfs.
Tonopah was founded in the spring of 1900 by prospector Jim Butler, who was traveling through what would now be Tonopah and set up camp for the night. Now, during the night, he had a donkey, and the donkey tried to escape. And when the donkey tried to escape, he beat the donkey! He mercilessly beat the donkey to death, taking out years and years of sexual frustration on the donkey, beating and beating the donkey, screaming at the sky, screaming, "Mom, why did you leave? This is your fault, Mom! You made me beat this donkey! Why did you like Brendan better than me?"
That is a new way of beating an ass.
Well, after he beat that ass, he harvested the blood, and he used it as a sacrifice to the unknown one in exchange for riches beyond his wildest fantasy.
Are you for real?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, you introduced me to the unknown one like 2 weeks ago, like...
Yes, I'm introducing DJ to the ancient gods. Just kidding. So what actually happened was the donkey did try to escape, and then he took a rock and he was going to throw it at the donkey. And before he was going to throw it at the donkey, he looked at it and realized it was ore. And now ore is a very expensive metal I have right here. So back in the day, ore was worth about $200 a ton, right? Which was a lot of money for them back in the day. So...
Do you want me to do an inflation calendar? Because
Oh, trust and believe.
Do you have it in there? Because, like...
I don't have that inflation calendar, but I have another inflation thing there that'll give us how rich this would make him. Because Jim would, he would take over this land and he would start to lease it out to other prospectors, right? And he would take 25% of what those people would mine.
And none of them were the indigenous people who rightfully lived on that land.
Exactly. Another colonizer. Another story of a colonizer getting rich off the land.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm looking in the camera with a disapproving look on my face. Well, half of my face.
We're both very disapproving, for sure. So obviously, this made Jim very rich. This land would eventually become Tonopah after Jim would sell it for about $350,000 their time, which is worth $13 million today.
I think he could have rounded up to an even 20.
An even 20 million?
Yeah.
I don't know about that rounding. Maybe 15 million. I don't know about 20 though.
Still,
20, that seems like a lot.
It sounds like he lacks ambition and drive.
Hey, I give it to him though. He made his coin and he got out. He made his coin and he got out. So there's something to be said for that, okay?
True.
So, Tonopah became one of the richest mining towns in history, right? But that was until the Depression hit and things started to go downhill. Obviously, the Depression hit everyone. Everyone knows what happened during the Great Depression. It hit everyone hard, okay?
I would like to apologize to everyone for how I lashed out during my Great Depression.
Oh, yeah. Those Wendy's workers are never going to be the same.
No, not after I told that drive-thru worker that I wanted to have his babies. Oh, wait. That wasn't me.
And you know who you are. You know who did that, okay? So, in 1942, a fire would break out in one of the mines. The fire had started at the bottom of the mine shaft, right? So the workers were down there working, and the fire started. So they started to evacuate. But how you get out of mine, it was basically it was an elevator, but it was a platform, and only a few people could fit on it at the time. So as people were trying to escape, the smoke was coming up, and the smoke eventually got to the workers, and some of them passed out, and they couldn't get on the elevator by themselves. But it is thanks to William F. Big Bill Murphy, who went back down and helped out the unconscious workers. he was able to make 2 trips and then save people in those 2 trips. And he went back down for that 3rd trip and sadly never returned.
Oh. Did they find his body?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They might have. But that day, 17 men lost their lives, one of whom was Clarence David. Now, Clarence was just a normal guy. Father, miner, avid clown collector. You know,
Ew.
just your usual guy. He had a collection of about 150 clowns.
I mean, I collect clowns too. It's called My Dating Profiles.
Exactly. That's just swiping on Tinder,
I'm sorry. I just kind of unanimously I heard clown and I unanimously decided that this was going to be a comedy episode.
Period. Let's lean into the comedy then. I was going to try and make it spooky, but if we're going funny, I'm going all in. Let's
I
fucking go.
I think spooky, things can be funny and spooky at the same time. I mean, you ever see Saw?
So, yeah, when that bitch died, that was hilarious.
When that bitch got her head cut off, I laughed for days.
Oh my god.
Although, I think we can all admit that the funniest was that opening scene of Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship?
Yeah, when everyone gets cut in half.
Oh, I've never seen that.
You've never seen Ghost Ship?
No, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Girl,
I'll show you later.
See, one thing about DJ is he loves a ship. Okay, he loves a ghost, he loves a ship, he listens to the naval podcasts. It's wild.
I do not listen to naval podcasts. I listen to shipwreck podcasts. Get it right.
Same thing. I mean, at least the naval podcast might have hot men on it. Jesus.
A sailor's a sailor.
So, as I was saying, many years later, in 1985, Leroy and Leona David would finally get off their lazy ass and finally decide to honor their father. And I have decided to reenact this moment for you all. So, let me get into character.
Okay.
Leroy, what are you doing? It is 10 a.m. and you're drunk again? All you do is sit in this house and stare at those stupid fucking clowns. You are just like Dad. Mom was right about you. You're never gonna amount to anything. You're wrong! And you know what? I'm gonna open the best clown motel Nevada's ever seen! You'll see! You'll see! I'm gonna avenge you, Father! When will you learn? When will you learn? Your actions have consequences! And that is how I imagine that transaction went down. Because listen, Homeboy died in 1942, and they waited until 1985 to do something.
They waited till they retired.
Well, retiring isn't opening a fucking motel, bitch.
Some people wait till retirement to open up their own business.
Girl, not me. When I'm retired, I'm done. Send me off to the woods. You're gonna find me laying in streams in the woods, okay? You're gonna find me face down on the beach every Tuesday, alright? So, they open the Clown Motel, they own it for a while, and then Bob Perchetti, a lifelong resident of Tonopah, would buy the motel in 1995. So, they open it in 1985, they ran it about 10 years. Bob Perchetti buys it in 1995, which is kind of awesome because he's a lifelong resident of the town. He can really honor it. And he actually brought the collection of clowns up to 600 clowns. So he was very dedicated to adding to the collection. Now later, in 2019, the Clown Motel would be bought by Vijay Mehar, and I'm very sorry for pronouncing that name wrong. I do apologize. And he owns the motel to this day. Now, one thing about him is he owns a lot of motels, not just the Clown Motel.
Are they all randomly themed motels like this one?
No, I don't think so. Because from what I gather, he owns motels and hotels in California and Vegas. Uh-huh. So he's just like one of those people who buys a bunch of land and owns it. One might be skeptical of this person buying this motel, that he might not take it seriously, but he has nearly doubled the clown collection to this day and continues to add to the clown collection.
Oh, why? Where's he finding this shit?
I don't know. I mean, there are people who come and stay there and just donate it. There's one interesting clown that was donated, right? So the clown, they donated 2 clowns, right? And the clowns, they were in a house fire and everything was decimated but the 2 clowns. So people are saying there is something attached to those clowns that they didn't burn in that house fire. And so they took them to the Clown Motel and they're there to this day. Period. So,
You know, Zach Baggins is just eating his heart out over those.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he read that in the Totapod News and just went...
He said, fuck.
That would have looked so good next to the Dybbuk box.
Very that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to buy it. Well, actually, no, we'll get into that later, because I do have a whole section about when he investigated the Clown Motel.
Okay, yeah.
So we will get into that later. So, today, the Clown Motel boasts 31 rooms, 32 if you're nasty. The rooms are clown-themed, of course, and even the lobby has a collection of clowns when you walk in. And as soon as people walk in, they say as soon as they walk in, they feel like off, they feel like they're being watched, they feel like kind of anxious and on edge as soon as they walk into the hotel, which honestly, it could be power of suggestion, might not be. I do think this place, well, we'll get into that later. But let's get into some of the haunted rooms, okay? We're going to get into room 107 first. So, room 107 is known as the Fear Unlimited room, with paintings of evil clowns all over the walls. And if you look at this room, it's actually a really cool room. It kind of looks like graffiti art clowns. I think it's really cool, and they're almost like neon. So this room was closed for about 2 years after a couple of deaths happened in the room. And while the room was closed, people would actually stay next door in room 108, and they would like hear things in the room next door, like things dragging, banging on the walls. And they would go down to the front desk and be like, whoever's in this room next to me, they are just keeping us awake. They're being super loud. They're being super annoying.
Mind you, it's just the night receptionist and the housekeeper getting it on.
They secretly used that as the plow room.
Yeah.
That's actually where they filmed Fraternity X. And then Sketchy Sex on the weekends. But
You forgot Bait Bus. That's the shuttle.
Bait Bus? Oh my god. You have to take the Bait Bus to the Clown Motel?
Yeah, from the hotel. It's just the shuttle.
Oh my gosh. No, but they would go there and obviously be like, hey, they're being super loud in the next room over. Something's going on. You have to tell them to be quiet. And then obviously the front desk people would be like, there's no one in that room. What are you talking about? There should be no noises.
See, that is really creepy.
Right, exactly. Just like you hear all this shit and they're like, no one's in there. Now, the room would eventually reopen and it stays open to this day. So you can stay in that room actually and see if you can hear whatever spirits were in there moving shit around. Now, of course, room 108 is said to be haunted as well. People have named the spirit in this room the Trickster. And
Maybe let's not name ghosts.
Why?
I just feel like whenever we name ghosts, it doesn't go well for us.
I don't know. I feel like giving it
No,
a name,
I don't mean specifically us. I mean just in general.
I don't know. I like it. I like giving them a name. It's like naming a pet.
Leave your thoughts below.
Leave your thoughts below, yes. So, the Trickster does everything from move objects to steal things from people and even disembodied voices, right? So another entity that could be haunting this room was an elderly man who died. Mm-hmm. He was actually the front desk manager and he was very sick. And long ago, when elderly people were sick, sometimes they would put them in the motel because it was easier for people to care for them in the motel. So that's what happened to this man. He was old and he was sick, right? And one night, something went really wrong. He needed to go. He needed help right away. So he picks up the phone and he tries to call the front desk. And it's ringing on his end, and no one answers. And then the man eventually dies because he didn't get the help he needed.
No, that's sad.
And what's even crazier is he called the front desk, and people started blaming the front desk for not answering the phone. And then the front desk was like, that phone never ringed. And they checked the footage, and the phone never did ring. So people think it might have been some sort of spirit preventing him from getting help. Some sort of spirit that wanted him to die.
Dead ass. That spirit went, ooh, I like the look of you.
You're coming home with me. Ooh. Could you imagine you're at the bar and you look at this and you're like, you're coming home with me. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's happened a few times where I'm drunk and then I just see your face come out of the gloom and it's like, get in the Uber.
That does happen, bitch.
You're like, get in the Uber, and I'm like, you're not my real dad.
We've all been there when it's been like, we're so drunk at the bar and then we're just vibing and then your friend's like, you're coming home.
Although you're very lucky, you missed the age when I would get drunk and I would run away.
See, about me is I'd let you run. I'd be like, okay, homegirl's out. Get in the Uber, guys. That's because I'm a fake bitch, honestly. I'd let you go. I'd be like, okay, he's going to Club Pit. Okay,
run down the street, running down Ellsworth.
See, I don't chase. I'm not a runner. I never was. I hated running. I'm not a runner. One thing about me is I'm not running. But what people might want to run away from is room 222, which is said to be home to a malevolent entity who likes to wake people up early hours of the morning.
And do what?
Just wake them up.
Not even for like some morning sex?
No, just wake them up.
Is it malevolent because like I am not a morning person, or is it like, or
yeah,
like is that it? Is that it? Like is that it?
Yep. Now I will say,
weak. I'm gonna go stay in room 222.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna lay there yelling weak.
Now. Another interesting thing is, this happens in multiple rooms at the motel actually, is multiple visitors have reported waking up seeing a 7-foot clown at the end of their room in the middle of the night.
No.
So could this be the same entity as the one in room 222?
No.
He just travels?
I don't like it.
Girl, yeah, the 7-foot clown.
Oh, no.
Could you imagine?
And I like tall men. Oh.
Could you imagine waking up in the middle of the night and it's just me like, hello. Want to go to 7-Eleven for some popcorn chicken?
That did happen once. The one time when it was somebody's birthday and you just leaned over and you went, you want sheets?
Did I actually do that?
Yeah.
Because that sounds like something I would do for sure.
I was not so drunk that I passed out. I was drinking and I was tired and I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh.
And you leaned over and you went, you want sheets? And we never did get sheets that night.
That's okay. See, that's just a Tuesday for us, honestly. Now, in room 111...
111. Okay, another angel number.
Yes. There was a terminally ill elderly man staying there who wanted to die. Now...
So this really was like a part-time retirement home.
Yes, and another interesting thing, all these stories I'm telling you right now are right on the Clown Motel's website. So you can go to clownmotel.com and look up all these stories because they're all on the website.
Good advertising right there.
So, right. So at nighttime, this man wanted to die, right? So at nighttime, a shadow person would visit the man in the middle of the night, and the elderly man would beg the shadow person to kill him, but the shadow person wouldn't do this. And this happened night after night after night.
That shadow person was laughing at him. You know it.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was taunting him. He was mocking them. But it got to that point where that elderly man got so frustrated, he ended up unaliving himself. He took matters into his own hands since the shadow person was not.
And you know, they threw down. That old man, like, his spirit left his body, and they threw down WWE style. You know it. I know it.
I could see
Jacqueline Kennedy knows it.
Oh, I could see that for sure. For sure. Now, going to another room. See, there's a lot of rooms. There's a lot of shit going on at this motel. There's a lot of rooms and there's a lot of shit happening in the rooms, okay? So in room 210, there was a man who had terrible back pain for most of his life.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a cure. The doctors couldn't find a cure for this back pain. But he visits the Clown Motel, and the one night he spends in the Clown Motel, the back pains go away. Now this convinced the man that the spirits had cured his back pain, and he actually stayed in that room for another 6 years until he eventually died in that room.
Oh. Did the back pain ever come back?
No, because he stayed in the room. He stayed there for 6 years. Yep.
Did he ever leave?
No, like
Not
I
even
said.
to get a pizza?
Bitch, shut the fuck up. Girl, not even to get up here. Girl, I hate it here.
I warned you. You had the chance to go, no, DJ, this is serious.
Okay, we're taking it down the rest of the episode. It's October, it's spooky month, and we're taking it down the rest of the episode.
Okay,
it's spooky the rest of the episode.
I'm ready.
Okay. And now that we're common-centered. So in room 214...
214.
Melvin Dunmar, who was
Stop. You can't tell me we're taking it down and then go Melvin.
Melvin. Maybe Melvin does take it down, okay? Maybe he takes it downtown and he plays with the downstairs. But no, Melvin was actually an associate to a Texas billionaire. Now, I'm not sure why this is important, but every article that talks about him mentions his association with this Texas billionaire. So, I don't know. I'll mention it because every other article mentioned it.
Okay.
But, so basically, what happened is Melvin stayed in the room one night and liked it so much that he didn't leave the room for another 3 years.
Ew.
And when he finally did leave, it said that the spirits in the room liked him so much that they come back every night trying to visit him, like trying to find him. And when they find other people in the room, they get angry and they start to taunt the people in the room. And one of the main ways they taunt the people in the room is by turning the lights on and off. It's not very taunting, but I guess if you're trying to get some sleep and a ghost is trying to turn the lights on and off and on and off and on and off, it would get annoying.
And you know what? It's also taunting to the owners of the hotel. Like racking that electricity bill
right. Up. Ghosts do that shit. They be turning on lights like they pay the bills. You ain't be paying bills to be turning on lights like that, bitch. You better get that ghost job at Wendy's and start pulling your rent, bitch. Because we're not playing around no more.
Wendy's.
I kind of look like a crazy Wendy right now. I kind of look like...
You just need pigtails.
Like, maybe if Dairy Queen had a Wendy's character, like, that would be
You
me.
are the Dairy Queen.
I'm the Dairy Queen Wendy's. Get into it. So, also, on the property in general, often people see a dark shadow figure wander from the graveyard next door and just start wandering around the property.
Ew. No,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Now, this is going to be a common theme of how the graveyard connects with the motel. Right. So one man, James Darnell, told an interview that one time he was parked in a car in the motel's parking lot and a man came wandering towards him from the graveyard. Now this man, for some reason, was holding a red balloon. So...
Okay, let me tell you two things here.
Okay.
First of all, if I'm sitting in a parking lot and I see a man wander out of a cemetery at night, I'm out of there.
I don't think this was at night. But either way, during the day, too, it's like, what are we doing?
The red balloon's creepy because it's giving it.
It is giving it. It's
but,
very
like,
much
if
giving
it's
that.
at nighttime, like, the chances of me backing over you are tenfold.
Girl, I mean, you do that during the daytime. One thing about DJ is he loves vehicular manslaughter.
It's not my fault. I need glasses.
And drink a lot.
See, I can change that about myself. I cannot change the need for glasses.
Oh my gosh. So, when the man got to the motel parking lot, Darnell got out of his car and asked what his name was. And the man only said, "We mind." Now...
No, don't get out of the car.
Well... He went even further because for some reason he tried to get the man into his car by telling him there was a dog in there. But obviously, he was not impressed by the dog because the man didn't get into the car. Right.
What? This is so giving, like, little boy, I have candy in my van. That's what it's giving.
So
did Darnell really say, I have a dog in the car, you want to see it?
That's what he told the interviewer. That's
What?
the official story.
Why didn't he just say, do you need help? Do you want me to take you to get help?
I guess he was trying to, like, coax him into the car to get him help, I guess.
I'm sorry, this is giving kidnapper, like, there's a dog in my car?
Honestly, that might work on me. Trying to get the dog into the car. Get me into the dog with...
You were definitely the kid that needed the don't take candy off of strangers talk.
Yeah, and I did take a lot of candy from strangers growing up. That's how I got hepatitis the first 2 times, but live, laugh, love. That's how you learn. But, one thing about this man, James could not get him into his car because when he tried to tell him about that dog, the ghost or whatever, the shadow person, just said, "We died that day. 17 minors." And then James watched then as the figure walked towards the motel, let go of the balloon, and vanished.
Do we think this was Big Bill?
No. Well, actually, one of the motel workers, Marlena, says that this story is true. She corroborates it, and that was just the trickster spirit playing a trick on him.
Ew, no, ew,
Yes.
no. Oh.
Now, let's get into a little bit more of the graveyard, right?
Okay.
There are currently 300 bodies in the graveyard.
300.
Yes. Now, most
I
of
love that
these-
movie.
Oh, there are a lot of hot guys in that one. Oh my gosh. Whew. This is for Sparta. Now, most of the people who were buried in the graveyard actually came from the town's plague of 1905.
A plague?
Yes.
So, fire, miners, a ritual sacrifice.
The ritual sacrifice was a joke. To clarify, the ritual sacrifice thing I said was a joke, and I clarified that.
Yes, but I mean, they always say that.
Bitch, shut the fuck. Oh my god.
They always say that. I mean, the Greeks said it, the Aztecs said it, the Catholic Church said it.
That's very true. That's very true. Now, what's even scarier is they actually nicknamed this plague the Death Harvest because so many people
Ooh.
died. And they tried to make it out. Well, they did make it out to be this mysterious illness, and they didn't know what it was. But then the doctors later found out that it was just pneumonia from the poor conditions, like the poor sanitary conditions in the town. Actually, in the town at the time, the butchers, like the meat factory, the butcher and stuff, it was right next to the hotel, and the runoff from the butcher would actually go to... Sorry, not the hotel, hospital. The town hospital was right next to the butcher, and the butcher or meat factory or whatever the runoff from there would go into the hospital, and then people get pneumonia, people died, things like that. Now,
Yum.
another interesting fact about that cemetery is that the bodies from that 1942 mine fire were buried there, including the body of Clarence himself.
Which one was Clarence?
He's the one who died, who had the clown protection. Clown.
I thought that was
collection.
Big Bill.
No, Big
Okay.
Bill just saved people.
Okay.
Clarence was the one who died, and he had the clown collection, and then his lazy ass kids finally got off their ass and started the Clown Motel.
Well, maybe if Clarence had gone into the mine to save people, they would have acted a lot sooner.
Girl.
Because, like, that, I thought that those kids were real ungrateful. Like, their dad was a hero.
Very that. And I feel like I'm going to get a cease and desist from these kids, Clarence's kids, for me constantly slandering them. But I think it's just
But
so
wait,
funny.
if they were born, like, in the 40s, are they still alive?
They're probably not alive anymore. I mean, Bob's dead. And he's the one who bought the motel after them, so they might not be alive.
Boom.
Rest
You're
in
fine.
peace.
I wonder if they're buried in the cemetery.
I don't think so, no. Because the cemetery has closed, so the bodies that are there now, that's it, and they're not putting any more bodies in there. So the cemetery has closed.
Okay.
Right? Now, let's get into one of my favorite stories about the Clown Motel. So there were two guys staying in the motel. They were friends, and they were staying in the motel.
Yeah.
One of the guys gets up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he hears a rustling outside, and he ignores it at first. He's in the bathroom.
It's just the
He
condom
pees.
wrappers.
Exactly. He's stepping on a bunch of condom wrappers. But so he ignores the rustling at first, and he goes to the bathroom, and then he looks out the window, and
You don't ever look out motel rooms.
he
Windows.
gets- well, sometimes you just want to see the view.
What did you see?
Well, I'm going to tell you that later, because as soon as he sees it, he gets spooked.
Okay.
And he freaks the fuck out, and he runs out. He tells his friend, we have to get the hell out of here right now. I'm not playing. Grab your gun, we're going. So they both grab their guns.
I love that they both have guns.
Yes. And they look out the front window and make sure there's nothing between them and their car, right? And when they find out the coast is clear, they bolt to their car, jump in, and start driving away. And the one friend asks him, What did you see outside of this window? What's going on? What did you see? And he says, when he first looked out that window, he saw a clown facing away from him. But the clown, he scanned the clown and he looked down, and he noticed the clown had its pants dropped. And then the clown slowly turned to look at him, and the clown had a very evil face. And when he looked down, the clown was fucking a ham.
Are you for real?
Yes, this is what that story said on the website that has later been taken down because they like to keep people's voices quiet. And also, that clown gives a bad name to other clowns. Whoever did that. Now, this story, as you can imagine, led to a lot of prank calls to the hotel. So that's why they had to take it down because this...
That poor ham.
I know, he was fucking a ham.
That poor ham. What'd that ham ever do?
I'm not sure if it was honey baked or not, but it was probably honey baked after. But yes, it's pretty sure this story is not real, but it definitely had a lasting impact on the people of the Clown Motel.
Now, wait, I have one question for you, real quick. Would you rather have a honey baked ham or a matter baby?
What's a matter, baby?
Not much sugar. What's the matter with you?
Oh my...
You did that. You walked into that so perfectly.
I am formally resigning. This is my resignation letter. I will be joining a much more dignified podcast. Other than the stunt shows and the foolishness that DJ has brought upon me on this podcast, I am trying to have a very serious conversation about clowns and motels and fucking ham. And he's
just the fact that you said honey baked, it made me think of that joke. And you answered it so perfectly. I'm so pleased. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'll be quiet.
Cyberbullied on my podcast.
I'll be quiet for the rest of the episode. I promise.
All right, now let's get to something even more serious than the atrocity that DJ has just committed on the clown community, which is the atrocities that Zach Bagans has committed on the Clown Motel. So first, one thing interesting about Zach is he actually has caloriophobia, which is the fear of clowns. So Zach himself has a very serious, very debilitating, clear fear of clowns, which he makes very clear during the episode that this is a very serious thing, and it's not to be laughed at. So if you're at home laughing at Zach, take a look in the mirror. Really ask yourself, what's important in your life? Really ask yourself, what's her credit score?
How freaked out was he during this episode?
Oh, he was freaked out. Oh my god. Now,
please tell me that Aaron and Nick, fucked with him the entire time.
Well, he actually, for the interview, this was the double episode, so they interviewed the Clown Motel and a school as well. So he sent them to the school, and he did the Clown Motel pretty much by himself with just another camera person.
Because he knew Nick and Aaron were going to fuck with him.
Yeah. Now, one of the most prominent pieces of evidence from this episode was when he was in the lobby and there's this lifelike clown figurine. It's not really like a figurine. You know those clowns that kind of sit in the chair and they're supposed to be stuffed and they're human sized? Well, he had a camera on it, and when he was near it, it moved its hand. And this was a big thing because it moved the clown hand moved by itself on camera, and Zach tried to debunk it by jumping a bunch by it. He kind of looked kind of stupid, just jumping around the room next to this clown.
Yeah.
Now, it is unclear whether or not this was true. Later down the line, one of the motel workers would say that this was faked and that they did use fishing line to fake that. But I like to live in a world where this is not fake, so I will choose to believe that it's not fake. Very much going...
In case you want to cut that out, I have heard that most of his show is not strictly up to par, and that there are places that he's gone that are actually haunted, and he ends up leaving hours before he's supposed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose him to live in my fantasy world. Where Zach
I definitely want to go to his museum.
Yeah.
Just because I hear to see the Dybbuk box, and
I have a soft spot for Zach. He's he got me into the paranormal.
Yeah, wait, didn't really. You and your mom watch the very first episode when it came out because you had your wisdom teeth out?
Something. No, I've never had my wisdom teeth out.
Or was your pet... You had something where you were off school.
Well, it was a Friday night, and we watched it, and we both got freaked out, and that sparked...
Okay.
Just added it.
I thought you said you had something where you were off school.
Yeah, well, we were off school the next day.
That's true.
But also, another interesting thing about this is, so, in one part of this investigation, Zach uses a very interesting tool. He has this hand crank generator, right? That when you crank it, it's supposed to start bringing like electric. You crank it and it creates electric.
Okay.
And what he did is he attached a wire to that, and on the other side of the wire was a light bulb. And he had someone take that crank with the wire attached and sit in the graveyard while he sat in one of the rooms of the motel and crank it. And while they were cranking it in the graveyard, they were inviting the spirits to follow the electroactivity, like the electricity through this wire from the graveyard to where Zach is to communicate with Zach in the hotel room. Kind of like, you know how you take Dixie cups and tie string to them, like as a kid? It was a very interesting choice. A very, very interesting choice.
Do you know what would have been more interesting?
Yeah.
If he would have left the crank, like the little generator, in the graveyard and had the light bulb in the place.
Oh, and if it
to
cranked.
see if like something cranked it.
Yeah.
And like had like a camera on it to see like no one was around.
See, that would be spooky. But
this just kind of sounds like.
I mean, the light bulb did light up. What that means, I don't know. But I just thought that piece of technology was. It was a choice. And you know, we all make choices. Some of them good, some of them not very good. And you know, I think if I was a ghost, I don't think I would follow some weird ass wire to like, what are we doing? Like, what did we feasibly
I mean,
think?
depending on when that ghost died, I'd be like, I saw Ghostbusters. I know what's on the other end of this.
Right, it's very much giving trap. It was, girl, that was a choice, Zach. I'm sorry, I love you, girl, but what were we doing with that? What were we doing? Now, another interesting thing that happens in the Zach Bagans Ghost Adventures episode of Clown Motel. So he actually has a local ghost investigator who's actually a kid, like, come and help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Is this Dakota?
Yes.
From Project Fear?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, but it was some young, like, and by young I mean she was like probably like 14.
Wait, it's a
13.
she?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it was some little girl that does investigations. She was an amateur, and it was really nice of him to take her into the graveyard.
Okay.
And like, because honestly, if I had that experience, I would live. I would be insufferable.
I was just asking because I know like there was Travel Channel did a contest and a guy named Dakota won, and he got to go on a tour with Zach.
Oh, that would be
And
cool.
then he ended up like being really photogenic, so they gave him his own show.
And that's how we got Paranormal State, I guess. Yeah.
No, that's Ryan. No, Project Fear.
Project Fear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
We've watched Project Fear. Yeah, we watched it on YouTube.
Interesting.
They also have a YouTube channel. We weren't bootlegging because we would never bootleg.
Not once. We don't wear boots.
No. The only thing we bootleg is booze.
Exactly. Now, they did catch an EVP in the graveyard, which was very cool.
What did it say?
I forget.
Oh.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
But, no. Actually, I do remember. It said hello. They said, we're asking if anyone's there and if they could speak to us, and they had the spirit box, and it said hello.
Hello.
Exactly. Now, other notable media of this motel includes a ton of fucking YouTube videos. Basically, if you have a paranormal YouTube account, you're going to go to the Clown Motel.
Unless you're Crips and Corks.
Girl, you know we're going to go there one day. Let's be real. We're going to be there.
Then I will eat my hat. I will eat crow, as Dan likes to make fun of me for saying.
And there also is a very concerning amount of Clown Motel movies, all with the name Clown Motel. Very original, very original.
Don't forget the sequel, Clown Hotel. And then the trequel, Clown Resort. I'm making this up.
Okay, Clown Resort.
Clown Resort. Clown Inn and Express.
Clown Inn and Express
Or
period.
Clown Inn Express, like Holiday Inn Express.
There you go. And another interesting book, it's actually a graphic novel, was done by Christopher Sabela, who actually recounted his 30 days he spent at the Clown Motel.
Why are people going and staying for extended periods of time?
I guess people
This
just
is
get
how.
investigated.
This is how you get trapped somewhere when you die.
That's very true. That's very true. It's very much giving that caretaker at Bobby Mackey's.
I am already terrified. Like, I have lived in my house like long enough. I'm terrified that when I die, I'm going to be stuck there.
Ooh, you know what? I could see that for you because you do spend a lot of time there.
Yes, and I'm going to have to live there with all the crooked doors.
But also, I like at the same vein, if we're going about by like amount of time spent, I'm definitely going to be stuck at an Arby's. And that's going to be.
Or are we going by trauma? Because if we're going by trauma, you're definitely going to be stuck in my car.
Or.
Club Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. All right, kids. That is the story of the Clown Motel.
Lit.
And one thing I think about the Clown Motel, I think it is very much haunted. But I think it's haunted because of the graveyard next door, and the graveyard next door uses kind of some of the clown figurines as like vessels. You know how like
yes,
spirits will latch onto dolls and things?
Yeah, I can see that. But I could also see non-human spirits sort of taking it as an invitation.
Oh.
Because people find clowns creepy, and they're willing to assign creepiness to them. And non-human spirits, whether they're elementals or fae or demons, whatever, sort of taking advantage of that.
I could see that. I could see that.
Or like trickster spirits. I mean, this is in Nevada, which the Aboriginal peoples who inhabited Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, they had a lot of history of trickster spirits in their belief systems.
That's very true too.
And the clown is a trickster itself, and I could see it really identifying with that and using it to like taking it and running with it.
Yeah, I could very much see that because it is ancient land still, yes. So I could very much see that as well. And I do think it is interesting that they do see a lot of shadow figures coming from the cemetery to the motel. So I'm going to have to stick with my graveyard theory.
Yeah, and if like this was Clarence's thing, I could see like Clarence's ghost.
Yeah.
Sort of roaming over, and then the rest of the ghosts being like, okay, this is where we go.
Because he started the collection, which started the motel. So like, and especially when his kids were running the motel and everything, I could very much see his spirit wandering on over just to check on things, see what's going on.
And also, like, there are stories of, like, ghosts inhabiting one place, but sort of roaming nearby.
Right. So the land very much could be haunted, for sure. I could very much see that. Especially it being, like, an old mining town, too, and, like, all the shady things that happened in the Wild West and things, all the death, the plague. There's a lot that went
Death and shootouts, prostitution. Not that prostitution is bad, but, like, it can be traumatic.
Exactly. No, I could very much see a lot of things happen in that small
the
town.
Wild West, like.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably why Zach made it a 2-part episode, why he did the school and the Clown Motels, because there's a lot of haunted stuff there.
Yeah. This was a really good episode.
Thank you.
I know we had a little fun with it, but it was still really creepy.
Thank you. Our first October episode. Ooh.
I mean, and I gotta say that nothing was creepier than this.
Thank you. So, DJ, smash or pass? The 7-foot clown man at the bottom of the bed.
Pass.
Does he have abs? Depends what he looks like.
I don't like clowns. I'm not afraid of clowns, but I don't like them.
Do you think the clown people, if I came dressed like this, do you think the spirits would like me? Do you think they'd be like, oh?
I think you would get touched a lot.
Who's this pretty little girl?
I think you'd get touched both sexually and non-sexually, mostly non-consensually.
Yeah, probably, which happens either way, but what can you do? What can you do? But overall, Clown Motel, I do think it is haunted. Would love to visit. Looks interesting. I'm not afraid of clowns, so I could do that. Sounds cool. Sounds like a party. Any final thoughts? Any takeaways about the Clown Motel?
Yes.
Okay.
Just one.
All right. It's giving Disney Channel.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
No, your reaction. That was such a Disney Channel thing.
I was actually taking from the Golden Girls.
Oh.
There's like a scene where it's like they're talking about something. What was it? I think it was like gender reassignment. No, this was the 80s.
Right.
Gender reassignment. And it's like, oh, this person is like da-da-da. And like somebody goes, oh. And it's like, Dorothy. Because it was Blanche talking. It was like, Dorothy, you're worldly and sophisticated and smart. What do you think? And she goes, ugh. And just the 7-foot clown, the clown fucking a ham, like it's, ugh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that motel, which makes it all the more interesting. But also, real quick side note on that, isn't Golden Girls like really just like kind of Disney for adults?
Yes.
I could see it being an adult Disney Channel show for sure.
Well, okay, and this has nothing to do with the episode, but I grew up watching Golden Girls because, like, when I was little, my mother would get home from work and she would sit cross-legged on the floor with me in her lap and we would watch an hour of Golden Girls before she had to start dinner. So, like, that was my childhood. So, in my head, I have the same emotional response to Disney movies as I do to Golden Girls.
Oh,
I should phrase it this way. I have the same emotional response to Golden Girls as I do Disney movies because it's that comfort thing of it reminds me of being little with my mother.
So if you have Golden Girls, I have Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I watched Buffy with my mom a ton. We watched Buffy growing up. Buffy was my Golden Girls. Love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Icon, legend, love Sarah Michelle Gellar. But this was a really fun episode.
Yes,
it was
it was.
really interesting to research. Really learn what the Clown Motel is about. I'm excited for more spooky episodes.
Yeah, next week is going to be very spooky. It's mine, and I already have the topic picked out. You know what you're wearing for that. I don't. We're not going to tell them, but I got to figure that out.
Get ready for the next costume, kids.
Yeah.
And go on over to our TikTok because all of October we are doing Vlogoween on TikTok. That means we're posting every day. We're posting memes. We're posting about our lives. We're just talking with you guys. So go on over to our TikTok for our 31 days of Vlogoween.
Yes, and we've also decided that going into this next year, to check out the description for where to follow us or to where to email us.
Exactly.
The only thing that we are going to say is that if you have a listener story, please put that in the email address, not in a DM or a text message to us or a comment. Very important, if you are in the United States, we have an election coming up. It is a very important election. You can go to www.vote.org to check your registration. I don't think you can register at this point because we are in October now. But check your registration, check your polling place. And also, there is a lot going in the world. You can go to www.unicef.org and you can donate to Gaza relief or to provide relief to children in Ukraine who are experiencing the war from Russia there. And I think that's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote.
So,
as usual, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Oh, did you want to shout out your socials? We never discussed that.
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to say it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you would like to write me a love letter, you can address it to the Clown Motel in Totapa, Nevada. And until next time, remember, don't fuck a ham. That's just weird. And keep your grips tight.
And your corks loose.
Bye.